A 2 trillion bailout is coming and Bitcoin is about to explode. I know that sounds dramatic, but this is no hype. Every time trillions flood the system, Bitcoin front runs it and data proves it. In this video I'll break it down in 3 parts. 1. Where is this 2 trillion coming from? Why is Bitcoin the best asset positioned to benefit? 3. What smart money is doing right now and how you can prepare. This is not financial advice, just my opinion based on what I'm seeing and doing. Always do your own research. Let's start with the big picture. Governments and central banks around the world are getting desperate. And when that happens, they do what they always do: print money. Here's what's happening. In the US, projected to run a 2 trillion deficit this year. The Fed is already injecting liquidity through reverse repos, balance sheet expansions and potential rate cuts. China is bailing out real estate and local banks, and the ECB and Bank of Japan are actively intervening in their debt markets. So even if they don't call it quantitative easing, we know what this is. Global liquidity is returning. And history shows what happens next. In 2020, 6 trillion in stimulus, Bitcoin exploded from 3k to 69k. 2017, liquidity surge. Bitcoin went from 1k to 20k. And now in 2025, another flood is coming and Bitcoin is ready. This is the setup, but it only matters if you understand how Bitcoin fits into it. Now, here is why Bitcoin is in a perfect position. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, 21 million coins ever, a shrinking daily issuance after the halving, and a growing wave of demand, not from retail, but also really from institutions. So enter the ETFs. Since 2024, BlackRock, Fidelity and others have been quietly absorbing massive amounts of BTC, moving it into cold storage, off exchanges and out of circulation. Here's the thing. That 2 trillion in new liquidity, a big chunk will be looking for hard assets, inflation hedges and uncorrelated returns. Bitcoin checks all those 3 boxes. And the public doesn't even see it yet. They're watching the chart, not the on-chain data, not the macro liquidity, and definitely not what Wall Street is doing behind the scenes. But when the demand surges and supply can't move fast enough, that's when Bitcoin explodes. This isn't a matter of if, this is a matter of when the fuse get lit. Here is the big question. What do you do with this information? Let's look at what smart money is doing right now. They are stacking steadily and quietly. They are self-custodying, not trading on emotion. They are front-running the liquidity wave, not waiting for CNBC to say it's time. Meanwhile, most retail investors are waiting for a dip. They may never come and get shaken out by volatility and listen to noise instead of signals. So don't do that. When $2 trillion enter the system, you won't get a warning. Bitcoin won't politely rise. It will gap up. And by the time the average person reacts, it's already too late. So what am I doing right now? And what could you do? Study the macro picture. Stack sats, even if it's just 0.001 BTC at a time. Zoom out and focus on the long game, because when the next Bitcoin wave hits, it will make 2020 look small. So let's wrap this up. A 2 trillion liquidity wave is coming, and Bitcoin is designed to respond to exactly this type of event. We have seen this movie before. In 2020, it changed lives. Now we get another shot. You can panic with the headlines or prepare quietly like the wealthy always do. What are you doing?